hello, good people, and welcome to the Amateur Hour. My name's Justin.
And my name's Tyler.
And we are your hosts for today. Today we are sponsored by Oxford Gamerz Den. More about them later. So, I want to talk to you about something.
Alright, let's talk.
I want to get into why no cooperative games?
Cooperative games? Well,
Yeah, why no two-player games? You know, we have technology, but why the hell aren't there co-op games?
honestly, back in the day, split screen was the shit. I don't know why they're doing less and less of it. Seems like most of the world's on the internet, but even if you're on the internet, you can still do co-op, or why not still have a split screen every once in a while? Favorite split screen game?
My favorite split screen game would have to be Army of Two. That game was amazing. It was delightful. The cooperative was very immersive. You generally had to work together or you're not going to get the objective done. It was like the interactions that you had to do were very much made for you and your partner and not just you on your own just booking it.
Right. I'm going to put a real big throwback in there. The 007 game. What one was it?
Was it GoldenEye? Or another a cooperative on PS2?
It was PS2 split screen. You could either face each other, or there was another one where you could still do split screen, but you were doing co-op. But that game, I remember not being able to put it down.
I'm gonna look that up right now. Actually, let's see that title. It was 007, and it was a PS2. I think we used to play that back in the day too.
Oh, I know we played it back in the day.
Oh, we screw around so much. Let's see. We have James Bond. We have the 007 everything. Was it this one? You would probably know the look of the image a lot better than me.
Let's see if we can take a look
you
here.
own the game. I never owned a PS2. I've went from PS1 straight to Xbox 360. So how does that happen? I don't know.
Back in the day, couldn't afford to build a gaming computer. First console was a Nintendo 64, but the PS2 came out and it was like complete game changer. Way better than anything else. I don't think this one's it. Oh, it's $1.95.
Oh gosh. $1.95, everyone. That's what PS2's worth now.
This is it.
What's James Bond everything?
Nope.
No.
Agent Under Fire.
Agent Under Fire. Man, it's been a while.
I want to say that's one of the ones we played. That was the split screen one where you could just go for 15, 20. I don't remember the time frames, but you give yourself a time frame, and whoever got the most kills first, or whoever was the last one alive, you just kept on killing each other over, just like Call of Duty. But it was so much more fun because you got all the James Bond weapons and all the crazy other stuff, jetpacks and everything. But now, there's no split screen games anymore.
No, I think the most recent that at least I remember, because there's like either party plays or the last split screen game that I seen was, at least that I was interested in, was Battlefront 2. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of such garbage to the original in the beginning. Now they have so many updates that I'm generally excited. If you're going to judge me on that, by the way, because I know that game has so much like backlash because the loot boxes, you know what? Whatever, okay? You're a nice guy. I like you. Eat a salad, get a job. Don't worry about it. Get educated. Those are my offensive, statements to you.
Another good one, and we played this one on a Xbox 360. This was back in the day when you got your first console. It was it Call of Duty 3?
Modern Warfare 2, actually.
It was the only one where you could drive the vehicles around.
Oh, yeah, but that was a multiplayer.
But we played it split screen.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. I liked multiplayer split screens, but after a while it got kind of dull. And the reason being not because it wasn't fun, because we would screw around so much in that game.
Oh, most of the match would be because I sucked at shooting. First person shooters are not my game, so I would just grab a truck and fucking run you over.
Yeah, you would run me over, and I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Jeez." But then it made it fun because then it was just me trying to kill you off the vehicle before you ran me the freak over. Like,
back in the day, those kind of games were my favorite games.
those were a blast.
Because the reason is, now you log on to a game. One of the bigger games that's out right now is what Fortnite.
Oh, I don't think anymore. It's Minecraft now.
I don't know what
Minecraft, actually, the game that you liked for such a long time, and I didn't like. But
I
I
was
didn't
a
care
big
for it.
Minecraft.
I didn't hate it, okay?
They're getting more and more mini games.
Yeah.
Which those are
Like those multiplayer mini games.
If you're trying to pass the time, you'll forget about a few hours in no time. It'll just disappear, and you'll be like, "What did I do with my day?" Yeah, Minecraft took it.
I know. Like I said, I was not a supporter of Minecraft way back in the day. Because I was like, the game has crap graphics. Why would I want to play a game?
Minecraft. It's supposed to be
But then,
crap
as I
graphics.
got older, okay, and the old man that I am, 22, back in my so as I got older, I was just like, this is interesting.
Yeah, you guys
I-
realize that we're talking about
I bought the
back
game.
in the day, but we're talking about technology here. It moves too fast.
Yeah, way too fast. I already got an Xbox One S, and then there's X, and now there's Scarlett Johansson or Scorpio, whatever the hell that console's called. I don't know.
But back to the subject.
Yeah.
You're talking about playing online games now, and it's always fun playing online with your friends. But the thing that I hate the most is the competitive scenario of it and how angry people get. Back in the day when we had the PS2 on the basement floor hooked into our piece of shit CRT TV, we were just generally having fun.
Yeah.
Kill each other, didn't argue, didn't get mad, didn't throw controllers across the room, just had fun and laughed our asses off like all the time. Now, I don't play GTA, I don't play Fortnite. What's the other one?
There's quite a bit of big games now.
Well, they all do the same
Call
thing.
of Duty. Like
You
Call of Duty.
put 50 people on a server, and the objective is to kill everyone as fast as you can.
Yeah,
That's the kind of
Can
games.
we talk about the franchises with Call of Duty? Like, it went from way left field, man. Like, it went from, okay, there's Call of Duty Black Ops, and then it jumped to Advanced Warfare, which then changed the face of Call of Duty. And then they're like, you know what? We want jetpacks and running across the ceiling. And you're like, what? And you had to be so quick in your reaction times. And it's like you injected everyone with ADHD because then everyone has these multiple senses. They had a sixth sense for video games. They're like, oh, he's coming around the left corner. Ba-ba. And I'm just like, oh.
All that stuff is cool because back in the day when we played the 007 game, that was our favorite game because once you got so many shots or so many kills, you could get a jetpack and you could jump from side to side of the map. Or you could get a rocket launcher that has like way more powerful of a shot, so you could kill your other opponent super easy. But that's because you did so much in a game. But now, it's like you're playing with a bunch of kids that just get too mad, and they take the fun out of it. So when you're in Call of Duty is one of the biggest ones. Fortnite's, if you want to talk about a bunch of angry teenagers that can't just have fun playing a game, they would rather just say, oh, I'm going to murder your family, or they just break down and cry because you killed them too many times. Like, come on, guys. It's for having fun. It's not for ruining your life.
But that's the thing is now everyone's good at video games. Before I remember it was like being an average player was like, that was good. That was good. And if you were good at a game, you were like, whoa. Now it's like everyone's good. In order for me to win at even now the remastered version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare to be exact, okay? Don't shoot me.
If you want to go back to the Nintendo Wii days, I can tell you how much of a shit player Justin was.
It's like, yeah. I mean, but it's like, now when I go back to that, everyone was just so quick, so fast. Like, it was so fast-paced that I didn't even enjoy myself because everyone's good. And it's like, I'm not trying to say that I'm a sore loser by not being good. I don't care. I'm an average player. I generally play the game for having fun, but I don't feel that people are playing games to have fun. And now it's, and then what happened to this rage culture that happened like maybe a year or 2 years ago, where it became so popular to be angry at a video game or break your console. I generally think that was the dumbest trend that we've ever had in
Mm-hmm.
regards.
For sure.
It was stupid. It was dumb. And now, because of that, I think to an extent, now you got like the media portraying you as like, oh yeah, violent video games are the cause of gun violence. No, no, everyone's a
No.
nerd, okay? I can get angry and scream in a mic, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go over there and genuinely murder you.
If you're gonna tell me back in the Atari days when all someone had was a stupid ball that could bounce across the screen, then how did they turn out to be raging and shoot up schools or murder someone because they're in a gang? That can't be because of the video game. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't play what's that game called where you bounce the ball back and forth?
I think that's is that ping pong or oh gosh.
No, ping pong's like the actual table game. That's not a video game.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't hurt me.
But anyway, we still had that violence before this stuff was even here. And then okay, maybe when Call of Duty came out and like it showed you that you can point a gun at someone and kill something, maybe I can see a teenager getting too mad and taking something too far and possibly thinking about it, but
But
it's all the
wouldn't that
same
go?
stuff that's all happened before. It's not
Wouldn't
because
that
of
go
video
to like
games.
parenting? I would think that would go into parenting. Like, first off, how is a 12-year-old gonna get a gun? And second off, like, why are you keeping a gun in your home that's at least I get having an easy to access gun to protect yourself, but if you're gonna have an easy to access gun to protect yourself, at least don't let your child know where it's at.
Yeah, we're not going to get into parenting. That's not what we're here for.
Yeah, no, we're just
The main focus of this conversation is we're gamers and we game to have fun. We don't game to compete. I know there's competitions out there for gaming, but we game to have fun. And when we log into a server to play a certain game, and when you have the most kills on that server, and all of a sudden everyone else is mad at you just because they can't kill anyone because they might be a noob or they might just suck at the game, like relax, wait for the next round, and just go again. And if you really getting that mad, take a break, play a different game. Maybe that one's not for you.
please walk away.
Video games are for fun.
Yeah.
Like amateur hour, we are the amateur hour because we try a lot of new things and we're amateurs. So we're not those people that get into a Call of Duty match and we have we're on Twitch with how many people watching us and we're getting so many kills per second because we're so good.
No, we're chill.
We are genuine, just log on. Oh shit, Justin, you killed me 4 times. I can't get a kill. I might like joke and be like, dude, I'm gonna kill you. But I mean, talking about the video game, and then I might die again. But these guys are like, all of a sudden you hear on the mic this kid breaking down crying, or you hear a controller get smashed up against a wall. Like,
and
relax.
it's like, is there a line? But at the same token, let me tell you, I do laugh at those kids.
I laugh at them all the time because I'm like, I've never been this way. How are you guys?
I would say though,
doing this?
with the introduction of like multiplayer and online multiplayer and technology and stuff, you had the introduction of people being complete jackholes, where they come in and they're just. I mean, I was one of those people that if I seen a kid raging because I kept killing him with a particular gun and he deemed it as newbie. And for those of you who don't know what newbie is, that means new at the game, not quite well. Okay, going back to
if you want to go back to the GTA days when everyone was playing GTA 5 online, if I saw a noob in that game, your ass is getting shot.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like over and over and
and
over.
it's funny, and you're gonna tease them, and you're gonna teabag them. And those of you who don't know what teabagging is, I'm kidding.
And in the beginning, you would shoot him 3 times, and then you get in your car and you drive away and you go pick on someone else. It's Grand Theft Auto.
But
that's
now,
the point of the game.
Now multiplayer is, it's about being the best, and it's not fun. I don't know. I don't think it's fun. And my question is too, like going back to our original topic of, cooperative games and where they've gone. I would say
Well,
that.
I think that's why they're disappearing because everyone wants to be the best at a game. Everyone wants to be
Yeah, but
top of the
like,
leaderboard. But if you're in co-op, how are you going to be at the top of the
and then
leaderboard?
here's my other beef with cooperative games nowadays too. If there's very few, and then they focus on just shoot 'em ups, which is fine. But then where's the story aspect? The stories suck in now cooperative games.
I would say the latest co-op game that might have been the best was probably Far Cry 5.
Oh, yeah, I
Because
played a bit of that one.
you could actually follow the story exactly how you would in single player and still get the full story.
Yeah.
They put time into that, and that game was really good.
One of my
And
oh sorry.
go ahead, you're fine.
One of my favorite cooperative games had to be too, Dead Space. I don't know if you. I don't think you ever played the
That
Dead
one I've
Space
never
game.
played.
But that game, let me tell you, it scared me. It's Dead Space is a horror game. I just explain it to Tyler and for listeners actually who don't know. Dead Space is a space horror game about these aliens that take over dead bodies called necromorphs, and they go and attack you. And you're an engineer, and you're trying to kill these obviously enemy types and creatures, and put a stop to this. It was a beautiful storyline. Also, I mean, it was about this character. His name's Isaac, and he's going after his wife to see what happened to her because she was off on a mining ship. And I mean, I don't want to spoil it for there. I would suggest you guys getting into it. But eventually, when it came to the third, and it shouldn't have been final conclusion. Thanks EA for destroying visceral games. That's horrible. I mean that sarcastically. So, that game was amazing because the whole game was cooperative, and you were in the story the whole time. It wasn't not like the second player character had genuine what's that called, dialogue with the main character. And if you played it in cooperative, you'd see a whole different game that you've never saw in single player. So I could play in the single player, and then I could play cooperative, but now I have much more dialogue that I wouldn't have gotten in a single player game.
Right.
And I have to say that I miss. And that was like when, like 2012, 13, around there.
Right.
That's genuinely, I think that's horrible that they don't have that anymore.
When we made the jump, the original, not the original Xbox, the first Xbox One that came out, it was a decent jump in graphics, but it was a big jump in CPU performance, for consoles anyway. And it opened up a lot of open world games, and it opened up a lot of storyline ability because you could have more processing at the time. So the games were just generally better. And we had a few of the co-op games come out that were really good. But then when everyone starts shifting towards the first-person shooters and just for competitive reasons, it all started dying. And now we just went to a huge step. Justin over here, he's still on console.
Yes.
And I went for PC, which
Nerd.
it's too expensive, but man, when you play in 4K at 90 frames
No,
per second,
I have to agree. Yeah, I had a friend. She was like, "You're get on the superior race, and that is PC, because you're unlocking unlimited, almost graphics, your own customized graphics, your own." How fast you want a fast console? Get a PC. I would agree to that, but let me tell you about platform and like console. It's super easy to do.
PC is just as easy.
I don't need files. I don't need I just want to put in a game. I don't want to click clack nothing. Yeah, that's an old. I don't know.
If you're telling me it's hard, you open up Steam. Everyone knows how to
Bro,
turn
I'm
on
65.
a computer. Everyone knows how to turn on a computer now, and then you can open up Steam. Once you get into Steam, you can use your Xbox controller, and you can control it just like a console. And when you're in game, you don't have to use keyboard and mouse.
I mean, that's true.
People tell me that I am like a far behind everyone else on PC because I still sit on my couch with an Xbox controller. But I'm not the competitive guy. I am a couch player, and I'm relaxed, and I'm there to enjoy the game. I am not there to move my hands as fast as I can and try to keep up
I'm
with
not
everyone.
for keyboards.
Not doing that.
Keyboards is like, listen, I'm not writing a paper. I'm playing a video game. Sticky keys. What I don't get it. Okay, I don't want to hit my number lock by accident and start googling kill them all. For those of you who are afraid of shooting, but that's why I don't. When I would always hear about PC, all I heard was you have your keyboard and your mouse, and you're
on
gonna love it. And I'm just like, no, that's not for me.
on PC, if you're using Steam, there is a mode called Big Picture mode, and it makes it turn into a console where it's made to work with your controller. Whether you're using an Xbox One controller, you can use PS4 controller, or if you want to buy Steam makes a controller, or there's a whole bunch of different controllers. You can use whatever controller you want. But the point is, you can make it work like a console, and then when you get into the game, as long as the game supports controllers, which most games do, you can keep on playing just like are you on a console. But the
Yeah,
difference is my computer versus Justin's Xbox.
which is
His
superior.
he says he has an Xbox One S that plays 4K how it advertised, but let's face it, at most you're getting like 1440p, and it might be getting upscaled.
You know what? I don't even know what that means. Okay, I don't need it.
Your resolution
Yeah, I know. I'm
is
kidding.
low.
I don't even need it. I don't know what it means.
You don't need it. I can play most of my video games at 30 frames per second at
Yeah,
720p. And you are talking about like when flat screens first came out, when they all just sucked
Yeah,
and they
my
were
eyes don't
made
know the difference.
right. But when I plug into my 4K 55-inch TV, and yes, it only does 60 frames per second, but that's more than enough. I have a 1080 Ti graphics card and a i7 processor, 16 gigs of RAM. It's a higher end gaming computer, but we are so far advanced right now where you can actually get a lot more performance than what I have. But mine is more than good enough. And one of my favorite games currently, well, it's been for a long time, was Fallout 4. And
Yeah,
I
that's a
bought
good
it
game.
when the Xbox One first version came out.
Fallout 76, go to hell. Sorry to interrupt.
Fallout 76 totally let me down.
Listen, I was interested in that game. I was even telling you I wanted to pre-order it so I could play it with you. And
I-
then what you're gonna tell me that there's no CPU, like no like any dialogue or anything any interaction, the storyline, which what people like.
Just the storyline, there is story, there's open world, there's a whole bunch of stuff you
Yeah,
can
but it's
do, but it's an unfinished game. It was
yeah,
a
it's
letdown.
garbage. Yeah, Beth, I don't get what's up with these big companies nowadays. Like EA's money hungry. That's all they want.
The last one, Fallout 4, that is one of my
Was it-
favorite games.
Yeah.
And when they said Fallout 76 was coming out, and they said they were doing co-op, I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
my
dude.
god, this is gonna be
I
the
crapped
number
my
one
pants.
game."
I
I
did.
was waiting,
Yes.
and then early access came out, and they let a few people play, and they put up their reviews about it, and some said it was good, but it needed work, and then I was like,
That's probably because
it's
everyone
new.
thought it was a beta.
It's new, they're working on it still. Obviously, it needs work. But they were saying some real bad things, like the story sucked. There wasn't a whole lot you can do in the game. It wasn't really anything like the makers said it was going to be. And then they actually released the portion, and I had the collector's edition on pre-order,
Oh.
and I actually canceled
That's scary.
my order because of how I had the helmet,
Yeah.
the metal case,
Uh-huh.
the carrying bag.
You mean the freaking plastic canvas bag that they promised? It was
Yeah.
supposed to be some crazy canvas bag,
Yeah,
and it turned out being what, nylon?
it was. How much was it? Like almost $200.
Oh, it was almost like $200. I would freaking Google that right now.
Look that up. I had that on pre-order, and then I'm looking at reviews. Most games I don't look at reviews and I don't look at gameplay because I don't want to spoil it. When I turn it on for the first time, I want that to be the first time I seen that game. But then I started hearing from a couple of other friends that the game was a letdown. It wasn't as good as it should have been, and I'm like, oh, man, I got this on pre-order. I better look into this a little bit. I looked up some gameplay videos. graphics, open world, big, awesome map, really good looking graphics. Everything looked beautiful in the game, but it was missing the game. The co-op part was garbage. There wasn't a whole lot of co-op you could do, and the storyline. If you tried really hard, you could get a good story out of it, but it wasn't like Fallout 4, where whoever you went up to and talked to gave you a different mission, or the DLC. I have all the DLC on my PC, and it is a really awesome game. But Fallout 76 didn't have any of that. And then they started saying that they were going to release updates to keep adding to the game.
Holy hell, it's $220.
They never came, right? We never seen any of those updates come.
Which one? Oh, they did, but they were still. It was like.
It wasn't what
it was
they
trash.
promised. It wasn't what they promised.
I mean, I wouldn't know in detail, obviously, because I wouldn't even touch the game. Let me tell you about a game that I was disappointed.
If they released that game for like $15 or $20, I would buy it. But if you think I'm paying $60 or the $220 that I had on special order,
on Walmart right now, I just seen it's like $16.
Well, I don't.
I would get it for $10. Lower.
I haven't looked at it because I completely lost interest.
No, I'm not interested.
That was one of the co-op games that I was like super looking forward to, and then all of a sudden it died. And that was the last game that I heard of that was supposed to be co-op.
Yeah,
co-op died after.
I mean, it's like you had Sniper Elite. I don't know if you know what that game is, but it was pretty cool. I got Sniper Elite 4. It was interesting. Obviously, Sniper Elite, you're in for what you're in for. It's a tactical shooter, set in World War II setting. For those of you who don't know, it was a great game. I enjoyed it for what it was. But if you wanted to go with story, if you wanted to go with story, cheesy voice acting, storyline was it's nothing in depth. I am excited. I would put in for the Zombie Army it's not Zombie Army Trilogy, but the Zombie Army 2. I don't know if you know what that game is, but it's pretty much Sniper Elite with zombies, and it's amazing. Hardest game I've ever played. I beat it with 2 people on triple the zombies and on the hardest difficulty out there.
You know, that's pretty impressive. One of the other good games we played was Gears.
Oh yeah, we had fun.
Gears was a good one.
We had fun. We've played it since I think the first one. A buddy of ours, Junior, too. We played with him quite a bit.
Junior, we got to talk some shit about him because he was supposed to be here and he's not here.
Yeah,
so.
He does what, most of us, do. It's called work. But, he couldn't make it.
He has real life today. I had a day off.
Yeah, I wish he was here. I had a day off too, I haven't started college yet, so. But yeah, no, Gears of War was such a great game.
The most recent Gears
4.
It was really awesome because they had a co-op kind of defense playing option.
Yeah.
Where you could put 3 people in a map, 3 or 4 people?
Yeah, I think it was 4 eventually. I remember we played online quite a bit though. Okay. I think it was, if anything, almost 5-player co-op.
Well, you started out...
Yeah, it was 5 for the wave mode, sorry.
Yep, okay. Well, you started out with, a basic gun. And you had a few kind of, alien creatures that you had to kill and defend off your little post that you had to set up. And then, the more you killed, the more you leveled up. The waves got harder and harder, but you could also get bigger, stronger weapons. You could set up barriers to keep holding them back. The harder it got, the more stuff it gave you to play with. And that kind of co-op, we weren't versing each other. Yeah. So we couldn't get mad at each other. It was more of a positive environment.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that I have against versing each other, but the more we verse each other in multiplayer, I think that's where all the bad's coming from, because it's like, oh, you killed me, now I hate you.
Yeah, I like the togetherness. Like I said, I'm a social person, and I like to sit there. And I've always been that way as a kid. I mean, even back when we played, after a while of playing multiplayer games, you and I would be you could probably tell that I would get annoyed after a while if I died a lot, or whatever. But then when we played a co-op game, I never was upset at you. I was like
Yeah,
happiest person alive.
but even if I killed you a million times and you got upset, you were nowhere near
Oh
how
yeah,
people act
with
today.
kids now today. No, I'll just be
But like, it
upset.
was like you would be upset because I killed you 10 times in a row, and then all of a sudden you snuck up behind me and got a headshot and killed me, and all of a sudden you were like the happiest person in the world.
Gears of War
But
was
like
amazing. I keep thinking about that.
anyone acts like that.
Yeah.
But what I mean is like
So I
you're Call of Duty or GTA 5 or Fortnite. I don't know any. I don't know a whole bunch of titles. I just play the games and I have fun. When you kill this kid 10 times in a row, and then he starts making like these just off the wall threats to you, like, "Oh, I'm gonna come kill your family. I'm gonna cuss you out as hard as I can. I'm gonna keep on screaming. I'm gonna break stuff
I'm
and
gonna
throw
cry.
stuff." And then yeah, some of
I'm
them
gonna
just
cry.
literally like break out and start crying, and then they start talking about like suicide and stuff. Like, guys, it's a video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's
no part of
upsetting.
me wants to see someone get that upset. I want it when I get online and play. I want to have fun with the people online. I don't want to piss them off. I don't
GTA
want to
was
make them
fun.
have bad things.
I would like. I'm sorry to go back, but like GTA was a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
The co-op was cool, but let me tell you, like the monetization that they used to get for that game, like
Well,
when
see,
it came
GTA was a
to
co-op and against the other
yeah,
ones
but
because
yeah,
GTA you could do missions
yeah,
with your
cooperative
buddy, but at the
multiplayer.
same time you were on the road with a bunch of other people
But
where
it took
we're trying to do missions with their buddy, and if you guys clashed or something, I could kill this kid and their buddy to get him out of my way, but then I'm here playing with Justin on at his house, and we could keep on moving forward, but sometimes those other people, like they would just come by and kill you 10 times in a row just because you killed them
yeah,
once, just so you can't do whatever you
yeah,
were
and then it
doing.
became a spam fest, and I would have to play unfriendly.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the
It got
thing.
to the point where I had to launch private sessions that weren't
Yeah,
allowed for public to
that's all
join
I did.
because it got so annoying.
Yeah,
Because we're trying to complete the game, do the story, do all the missions, make money or whatever in the game, but then actually trying to get places and accomplish. Other people, they're just like, "Ha, you died. Okay, I'm gonna wait for you to respawn. I'm just gonna kill you again." And by the time you respawn and by the time you bring your weapons wheel up and get a gun out, this guy already got another headshot on you, and you can't even play. Like it makes you feel like it's not
yeah.
even worth logging into the server
But I
anymore.
also hated like how long of a grind it took for me to get a car. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
such a long grind. It made you want to buy the packs where you can get $1 million for like what, $10, $12. It was
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. I did not enjoy that. It bored me after a while. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
When we step back to the 360 days when GTA came out, we played so much where I was what was I like a 220 or something?
Yeah, you
My
were high.
rank was stupid
Mine
high.
was low. Mine was
And
low.
I never bought any of those shark cards or anything. The money that I actually made in the game was from me doing general and like
Garbage card.
yeah, just
Yeah.
playing the game. I actually got everything. I was up to something stupid like $1 billion. But then when the Xbox One came out, I was like, the game died off. It got boring. And then Xbox One came out, and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of people started playing again. But it didn't feel like the same game anymore.
When we were talking about co-op, there was a recent co-op game, Anthem. I don't know if you heard about that one. Another letdown, by the way.
I
It was
have not
by
played it.
BioWare. Amazing guys. Let me tell you, I love them. If you allow them to be creative, but if you're EA and you're pushing a timeline like they did on Anthem, they're gonna put out garbage, and that's what they did. They made the Mass Effect games. I don't know if you're aware of those games. They're RPG kind of central video games that it's sci-fi, beautiful,
I know you
amazing.
showed me those games
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
past, but I've never spent more than 5 minutes on a Mass Effect game.
Let me tell you, it's amazing.
I have looked at a few videos, and
You're not
they're,
hooked?
they're like an open
Okay.
world.
Yeah, yeah. It's like an open world RPG.
Yeah. So graphics and everything looked really good. I don't know anything about the stories. I don't know any
It
background on
was
the game.
good, but like so when they were trying a new venture of this game Anthem that they had, 7 years back I believe,
Mm-hmm.
they put it out and it was such garbage. Again, lack of story, Cooperative was just a bunch of shoot 'em up, which was fun. But then there's no. They had awesome customization, but they didn't. They only gave you like one set of armor per. Like you had different character slots, so you could be a what's that called? A ranger,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like an in between of powers. You had a storm, and he'd have electricity powers and the power of ice and fire. Like he had such cool powers, but they dropped the ball in that game, and it really pissed me off. I was so on like just so upset by that game. And again, so is co-op dead and is it dying? I hope not.
I don't
We
think
have
it's dead.
technology.
I don't think it's dead because technology is getting too big for it to die.
And we do have Gears 5 coming out soon. So
Gears 5.
that it's going to be cooperative still, and that's
What-
a couch player I
With
have
what
fun.
they did with the fourth one, if
Mhm.
they let down Gears 5, I'll be so disappointed
Yeah.
because Gears 4 was one of my favorite co-ops.
One thing that I would have to critique about Gears of War is that like it was I mean, I know you don't want Gears of War to end, but like they redid like they
They're
kind of
stretching
rehashed
it.
the story, yeah.
They're
They
stretching
stretched
it a
there you
little
go.
bit. And I think they could spend a little bit more time with the mechanics of the game because I will say a lot of glitches were going on in that game where you'd get stuck on rocks, or
Yeah.
if you were both trying to go through like a door at the same time, it would like throw one of you back.
But that
I
was
noticed
funny.
a few of those. I mean, yeah, we did it to each other just to be a dick, like a bunch of times. But I will say, when you're falling through certain parts of the map, or when you're in one of the weird storms and your screen's kind of glitching out, like they need to put a little bit more work into those kind of things.
But I'm sure
But
they
it's
updated it. It's been a
well,
while
right.
since we
But
played
for the
Disclaimer.
co-op, like they did it right.
It was
The
right,
co-op
yeah.
was done well.
The
The story
story-
was done well, and
yeah.
that's what we need more of.
Yes, so please, any sort of developers, if you ever one day listen to us, change that. We need more cooperative games. Be
Right.
more unique. Make it split screen if you can. Why? I get everyone has online, but just make it both. Make it split screen, make it online as well. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you're gonna, that's another thing. Again, I would pick at least just one more time for this topic is that, we have this technology. And okay, if we're not going to play split screen, then give me a good online cooperative game. If not, then whatever. In regards to multiplayer, I mean, same old same. Multiplayer's fine. I don't have any quarrels with multiplayer.
I like multiplayer games.
I hated battle royale games. If I'm going to put that out there,
Battle Royale games
that
are,
was such an annoying fad.
Battle Royale games are what started all the obsession over just being the best player, and I think that's where a lot of the anger came out.
I don't know.
Think about it. You're in a world with 100 people. You made it down to 5. And you're like super into this game and you're only 12 years old. And then all of a sudden you get killed. Now you're mad at the world. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah,
But
that was
You just don't have that in
yeah.
co-op games,
It was horrible.
or like Call of Duty wasn't ever that bad because you can respawn.
Yeah, it was.
And
I
let's
mean,
say you killed me, and I was like, well, I got my revenge because when I respawned, I knifed you in the back or something because you
Yeah.
didn't know I was there.
but it still
when you're
became
in the battle-
toxic, though.
It is.
Yeah.
But the battle royale games, they're.
Yeah, you're
I
done.
don't
You're
know
done.
if it's the.
It's like a big
audience
search
or
and
what.
destroy, like
Yeah.
from Call of Duty. Like you're dead. You're dead. Now you have to get into a new lobby, load back in, collect all this loot. And I mean, it's a cool idea. I tell you, I like PUBG. PUBG was cool, for the most part. I believe it or not. And I know most of the listeners, especially if you're gamers, you're going to probably be upset with this, but I liked PUBG Mobile, okay? It was fun. It was an awesome mobile game.
A lot of people said PUBG Mobile worked better than the actual game.
Yeah, it ran smoother.
I've never played it,
Well, we should
but
play
that was one of the things that I've heard about PUBG, and I've played PUBG. PUBG, it was very jumpy. Your frame rates were all over the place.
Yeah.
The game was not optimized.
Sometimes the game would take like maybe 20 minutes for it to load in.
Yeah.
You couldn't see a house. Like one time I got stuck in a wall and it was just my head and my character, sorry to be, like this way, but he was naked. He was sitting there, you could choose where he just has the underwear on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking to get armor, and the dude's stuck in a wall naked waiting for someone to murder him. And, like, tell me why when we play video games that when we want to die in a game, you can never die.
Oh, it's so terrible.
It's like, insert cheat God mode, and then now, because you said you want to die.
GTA, you used to be able to pull out your phone and then pick this option to do suicide. Can you still do that?
In some games, not all games. That's the thing.
I know that was in GTA,
And
but
then,
I don't
like,
know if it's still in it.
I like Call of Duty the other day. I was playing with, or no, I was actually Payday 2. It's a heist game again for those of you who don't know. Great game, but let me tell you that I could not at all, die when I wanted to die. I'm just like, because I glitched in the game picking up a loot bag, which is like you pick up bags of money and obviously you try and run. And no, I'm not gonna rob a bank, Mom. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
I would say Just Cause 3 was one of those games.
Yeah.
Where you would get to a point where, like, either you got lost on the map or you completed a mission and you just want to die so you can respawn in, like, an actual populated city, or you just want to die so you can respawn somewhere else because you're up on top of the map's huge. You're up on top of a mountain. You're like, what am I doing? I don't know what to do. I got bored. But then you can throw yourself off a damn cliff, and for some reason your guy bounces like a rag down and he stands back up, and you're like, what the? Come on.
But let me tell you, you said that's so funny. For obviously the listeners can't see, but like you look so seriously, like you just want to die, and I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, you're sitting there in the game. You are trying harder to kill yourself than you were trying to stay alive during
I'm pretty
the fight,
sure,
and you can't die. But when you were in the fight, one bullet would have killed you.
Let me
for
tell
some
you,
reason.
if you played Fallout 6, I'm sure you just wanted to die. But I wanted for, you listeners out there, we did not introduce our sort of like relationship that we've had. So this is my buddy Tyler. I've been friends with him since, oh gosh, dude, since fourth grade.
Yeah.
Jinx, see? Since how did we meet? This is my earliest memory of when I first met. Like, I remember we're on a field trip at some stupid farm or something. It was like, I don't know if it was like a 1912 farm or whatever, but we're walking around.
Some kind of recess.
Was it recess?
Well, it was like a break on a field trip or something.
Yeah.
And I was always messing around, and for some reason with me and my friends, I would like come up to them and just kind of like shove one of them just to like let them know I was there, and then they would turn around and like shove me back, and then we'd start laughing at each other. Well, for some reason I saw Justin, and I just like slammed you up against a wall. I mean, we're fourth graders, and this guy turned right around and just like looked at me and like, what the hell? And then he just like shoved me back, and I'm like, yeah, we're friends.
And thus the story begins. I mean, now I'm 22, and you're 24. And like that's years of friendship that we have between us. So yeah, you know what? We have conversations, and it's kind of a reason why we started this podcast. Is like we're into the same things. We have some stories. Maybe we'll tell some, honestly, either later in the segment or perhaps next week's podcast. I'm going to say next week because hopefully we record a podcast next week. Man, we have a lot of stories, a lot of history. But that's why we created this podcast. Actually, let me gear this towards the listeners for a moment. Do you guys feel co-op games are going to die? Or do you feel that there would be an increase in popularity in co-op? I would like for you guys to comment either on our Instagram, or you can go over to our Twitter. Our Instagram handle is the Amateur Hour _ obviously, and our Twitter is at the Amateur Hour _ as well. So give us a shout out. Let us know. Do you believe cooperative games are dying, or is that going to be rebooted? Is it going to be a thing that we all love again? So anyway, going back to where we kind of want this podcast to go, it's conversation. We talk about anything and everything.
Yeah, so clearly our focus is gaming. That's one of our things that we do best. That's
Yeah,
one of
because
our things that we like to have a lot of
it's
fun
our
with.
hobby.
But the podcast here, the audience that we want to try to attract is the audience that just wants to generally talk, have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
So if there's a subject you want us to bring up, put it in the comments. Let us know about it.
Yeah, please don't be afraid. Whatever. Hey, you want us to talk about makeup? Let me tell you, I will not because I know nothing about it. Tell your friends about us. Let them know if there's anything you'd like for us to talk about. Again, we're open to talk about anything. Some days it's going to be gaming. Some days it's going to be movies. Some days it's going to be a serious topic. Like, again, for instance, like I did mention briefly that, it's not cool that, that nowadays the government's trying to shift gun violence on video games because violent video games create gun violence. No. Does it create some form of, I believe, a hyperactive sort of disability? It can, because you're firing so many neurons, and as it goes on, the science could go on. I'm not going to state the science, but I'm just going to at least talk based on opinion. And that's another thing. We will bring up opinions, and it's just opinions.
I mean, we can talk about that.
There's no right or wrong.
All the time, too, because I have a little brother that we try to do it, once a week if we can, but he'll bring his computer over and we'll play some games. But I've told him, and I've told my other little cousins as well, if we're going to play this game and you're going to start saying F this or I'm going to kill you,
he does get quite angry.
he gets very angry, but I got to be like, yo, if you're going to act like that, then we need to shut the game off and calm down.
Because then how are you having fun?
Again, not going to tell anyone how to parent, but you have to know when to let go, settle down.
Yeah.
And that's what I do for my brother.
I mean, and if you're a teen, you yourself have to regulate yourself. Because obviously, if you're dying a lot, how's that fun? Tell me. Or not that you're dying a lot, but like if you're angry at the other person, how are you having fun? Can you explain to me? Well, you're screaming with your little baby veins coming out your head.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, we'll be in a game, and he'll be playing, and he'll start getting a little bit mad, and I'll have a little bit of fun with that.
Yeah.
But then he'll get a really good shot on me for something, and I'll be like, listen here, you little shit. And then we'll get into it. But when the game's over, we don't hate each other, or we don't go off the deep end or nothing. We just start up another match or play a different game like it never even happened.
Yeah. I mean, I had cousins like that as well. I'm like, well, if you're not going to have fun with the game, you shouldn't play the game. Just don't play the game. It's not worth it.
There's another cheesy game we play all the time, and I don't even know how we play it for such a long time either, because it's not even like a multiplayer game. We literally have two computers where he's playing it on his own and I'm in the same room and I'm playing it on my computer. The game is Beam NG Drive. It's a driving physics game. It's more like a simulator than anything.
Yeah.
It just has like realistic crashing physics and realistic driving controls and everything. But what we've been doing, or my most recent thing that we did, you can take every car in Beam and you can strip it down to nothing. And you can literally build them from the ground up with like performance parts or stock parts. Or you can do stupid things like you can put bicycle wheels on a car for some stupid reason. You can do a whole bunch of different things. Yeah. There's like a million mods.
Almost like a sandbox.
If you know, right? Beam NG, then you know what I'm talking about. You know what the game is. But so we stripped down every car, and so far we've been building one car at a time, and we'll build like a race car, or we'll build like just a regular like a derby car or a crappy car. And we just like bring up a scenario where it's either drag racing them or racing around the track, and we'll get our times. And there's been times where I just straight up like reached over and just grabbed his controller and swerved him into a wall or something just to watch his car crash and roll, because one, the game physics is so realistic that it looks like you're actually crashing a real car. It's cool to watch. But other times it's just because he got a second faster than me in a drag race. I'm like, no, not happening.
Let me tell you.
I'm going to make you crash.
I enjoy that game. That game's fun. Not because I know cars or I'm a big car buff. Let me tell you guys,
I will say,
but it's fun to crash.
it's a dead simple game. sometimes I feel like it's just so stupid. But when I grab the controller, and I've crashed a car 100 times.
It's funny.
I don't know why, but I just do it 101 times after that. I can't put the controller down. It's one of them
I
games.
think we've sat for, and this may be sad, but we've sat for like 2 hours crashing a car, me and Tyler here, and I mean, we just had fun. We were laughing.
Me and my brother, we actually built a racing sim. I got a Logitech steering wheel and pedals, and it has a 5-speed shifter and everything.
Yeah, please.
And when you set that setup in front of the 55-inch TV, and the TV's like right in front of the steering wheel, like you're looking out the windshield of a car, you can play any driving game for hours and just completely forget about time.
Yeah.
And Beam, just because it's so realistic when you crash, I mean, you can crash cars, you can race cars around a track, you can rock crawl through a weird little course. There's a lot of things you can do in that game, but when you're actually holding a steering wheel and you're using the pedals and everything, and you got a 55-inch TV in front of you, it's like 3 hours will go by, and you won't even realize it. Those are the kind of games that co-op games, those do that to you a lot.
Yeah.
Because you get immersed in it.
As for single player, great. And my thing is too, when it comes to console players, I don't think there should be any one superior console. Honestly, if you're a gamer, just enjoy all games. I like Xbox One.
Another good
I would
game
prefer. I like PS4. I think PS4 is fun. So stop with there's a feud. There's a feud. Sometimes I'll be on Instagram or I'll be on Twitter, and I'm seeing a feud.
If you're a gamer out there, do what you can afford.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows you can go buy an Xbox or a PlayStation 4 for what, $250?
Yeah.
Or $200?
You get it for $150 if you go to like Discreet Play or GameStop or something.
What's the one out now? Like the Xbox One X?
Yeah.
So let's say you got last generation's the One S or the Xbox One.
Xbox One X, actually, it's the new Xbox.
Okay. Well, whatever. If you get the generation before, it'll still play all the games, and you can get it decently cheap. So, if that's what you want to do to get into gaming, get an Xbox. If you want my opinion, and if you want to be gaming on a top level, if you want the best graphics,
if you're all
really,
about the
really
performance,
immersed in there, go for a PC.
Yeah,
most
definitely.
You can do anything
and you can make them look so. I'm a big person of what's that called? Like looks. There's another word, but I can't think.
Half as much on my PC if I built a black box PC where you couldn't see any of the parts and just put cheap parts in it.
But it's so cool because you can see the internals with glass or LED lights, and it's customizable.
Mine's water cooled. I got an MSI card with a really cool looking shroud. I got a case with a glass side panel. You know, everything about my case, it's just as much money went into the looks of that computer than it did for the performance of the computer. But there's just something about me when I look into that glass panel and I'm like, yeah, that's computer hardware.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I have to
kind of
look
tear.
at that.
You tear up a bit and you're like, wow.
And part of you is like, damn, I actually built that. And then you play on it, and you forget what your computer looks like because you're looking at the screen.
Also, it becomes like a trophy because you created it. And it's like someone walks over, and they're like, show me your internals. And you're like, what? And they're like, the PC. And then you show them the PC, and you're like, I built that. And they're like, whoa, tell me about it, even though I don't even understand. Sometimes that's me.
If you want to join the community and you just want a game, either buy yourself a cheap console, or go buy a pre-built gaming computer. That's just, I don't know, spend $500 on it, and you'll get a decent gaming computer. It's going to be better than a console. But, you know, you get what you pay for with gaming. And honestly, you get a really good experience, even if all you bought was an Xbox or a PlayStation 4.
What's the need for GameStop anymore?
GameStop is shit. GameStop is nothing for money now.
Yeah, it's nothing but money. You can't turn in games for anything you like. It's annoying as hell.
I used to be able to go to GameStop
back
and get
then,
a decent amount of money.
Back then, yeah.
And then they would, if you got a GameStop card, they'd give you a little bit more.
Yeah,
because you're on in-store credit. Now, you go and trade in your console or you trade in a game,
You don't get
and you're
anything.
just like, what the hell? You laughing in my face? Like, why would you? I mean, the CD's
Plus, yeah.
2 weeks old.
Why would I need a hard copy if I could just get it digitally and on sale for like $15?
Right, and that's another thing. You can go on Steam. They have deals all the time for games. You don't have to spend a lot of money on games. Or if you do like CD keys or anything like that for the people that can't spend $60 on a game, you can still get cheaper games and stuff. There's game rental service. There's stuff like
Yeah, you got the
say
Xbox One Pass now, if
mhm,
you're on console, or the PS4 Now, I think it's called, and you get you're pretty much streaming games, you know,
right.
and it's free games. You could try it out, and rather than buying a game and selling it, you just own the game, and when you stop paying for the subscription, it's over. That's it. That's done, and you don't got to worry about it. But yeah, I generally do think GameStop will fall. I don't know when, and I don't know how.
When GameStop stopped caring about the experience and started caring about money,
Do you think
they
if someone
destroyed
else bought
themselves.
it could kind of,
Nope.
because they were under, I believe, contract with someone else to figure out. I think someone else was gonna buy it, and they were thinking of like rechanging like their model.
If the only way GameStop is gonna survive is if they go back to an enthusiast or a hobbyist kind of store.
Okay.
Now they're just a retail store,
Yeah.
and retail is going to destroy you.
Yeah. Disc replay. I think they're coming up, and they're gonna take out 100%. They're gonna take out GameStop.
Disc replay is going down the same path,
Yeah. Well,
and they actually are a little bit for the
yeah,
hobby or
I
the.
could. I mean, you could get movies there too for other than video games, and then like the movies are like $4, and
Oh
you get
yeah,
some classic, awesome movies.
you can buy real good stuff there for decent prices, but their trade-in values or anything like that,
I've
just forget
never.
it. Go sell it on eBay or something like that.
Yeah, eBay and Amazon are like the head corporations now, the monopolies almost, buying kind of everything out, and I mainly Amazon. Are you okay with like the idea of like having drones deliver our packages and stuff?
That I'm completely fine with.
I don't like it. Let me tell you why. Because like you got a drone flying up there, wind gust. There goes my $35 pencil. It's gone.
Amazon's
Carried
problem,
away.
not yours.
Well, true. But I don't know. And then when you're out there one day and you just want to enjoy the sunshine and you're just hearing like flying above you, a drone almost attacking you or smacking birds and wildlife,
I doubt. I don't know. I doubt any of that
I
would
just
happen.
I don't know how good their technology is going to be to even deliver a package to me.
The As much as I knew about it, first of all, you can only get an Amazon package from a drone if you were close enough to the facility. So let's say you were more than 5 miles away, chances are you probably can't get it delivered. But
Yeah.
if the facility's 15 minutes away from you, then they can probably fly a drone over to you and deliver it.
I mean, if they did that, that would make sense.
But I know distance is a big problem, and that's why they haven't done it yet. And another big problem is safety and airspace.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, being eccentric.
Uh-huh.
But, like in regards to you're out there, you're trying to enjoy a nice day and you're just hearing a drone over or maybe they got a plane flying kind of low. And I'm not saying that the drones obviously are going to fly super high, but if they run into something that they're not supposed to run into, that's going to suck.
Yeah, I mean, there's technology, there's proximity sensors, there's cameras, there's, I don't know, lasers that tell how far away stuff is. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot that can fail. There's a lot that can go wrong. But, I mean, that's just why it hasn't happened yet, because it's not perfected. So you can't have something out there until it's perfect.
How do you feel about because I've been thinking about this. I know it's a hot topic. Sorry, guys, if you are fans or not fans, but I'm gonna bring it up. How do you feel about Spider-Man leaving the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe? That Sony pulling him out, taking him away, taking him back before
My
even
little
doing a
cousin
trilogy.
is actually a really big Spider-Man fan, and when we told her about that, she was pretty upset about it.
Yeah, I was pissed.
I like Spider-Man. He's not my favorite, but they all fit together in one big thing. You can't exclude one superhero.
All that storyline, yeah.
They all fit together at some point, and especially since they put Spider-Man in with one of the Avenger movies. Which one was it?
Well, a few actually. Avengers: Civil War. We had Avengers: Infinity War, and then you had Avengers: Endgame, which was very sad.
So there you go. You put Spider-Man in those few things, and then made him a part of it, and then you all of a sudden stop his movies or take him out of the loop.
Yeah.
You can't bury something that deep in and then, it disappeared. We forgot about
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
like they had a huge arc for him. Like literally his arc from Spider-Man Endgame to Spider-Man 2 was him dealing with the death of Tony Stark and having to having this weight on his shoulders of trying to be the next Tony Stark. Literally, Tony's assistant, Happy, who works with Tony, was his mentor in Spider-Man Far From Home. And I'm like, how can you you're just going to pretend like it never happened? Like, how do you even write the story for the third one? You left the opening.
Yeah, that and Tony Stark, if you watch the movies and you know everything, Tony Stark made their main building, their outpost or whatever.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man is supposed to be in Tony Stark's shoes and kind of not taking over, but playing a very big part in that.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, that
passing on the mantle.
Sounds hard to get rid of, if you ask me.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know how it's gonna flow. The death of Tony was very big. In my heart too. Love you guys 3000, by the way, if you're listening. But I was depressed when they took him out. When I read that, I was like, Sony, what are you gonna do? I would have faith in Sony, but let me tell you, they've so far trashed every Spider-Man. I enjoyed Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. The third one was a bit weird. I will admit that. But was it good? Yeah, I enjoyed it. Of course, it was like one of the first Spider-Mans alive. And then they had Andrew Garfield, which then Spider-Man 2, let me tell you, it sucked. I'm sorry. Andrew Garfield wasn't horrible, but he wasn't a Peter Parker in my head. As well as, when it came to Green Goblin, he looked like trash. The only good villain there was Electro. They're setting up the Sinister Six too soon for that, and they screwed up Rhino. So I could go on for hours about that film, but Sony so far it's been a letdown. The only film that hasn't been a letdown for me, which gives me some hope of Spider-Man entering this Sony Spider-Verse, is Venom. Venom was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He was great. I liked the animated Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know if you've seen that as well. That was a good film.
I have not seen that one.
That's a very good film. You should check it out. I enjoyed it.
Well, guys, on that note, I think we should definitely look forward to getting some feedback from you. Let us know about any kind of topics we want to talk about. If you guys are into gaming, you want to talk more about a certain game or anything, let us know. Let's have another word about our sponsor before we wrap things up.
Gamerz Den! The Den. Join the Den. Let me tell you about Gamerz Den, Tyler. Do you like games? Do you like board games?
I do like games. I like board games.
I often find myself not being, having the people that I want around me playing board games. Let's say I'm playing Catan. Not enough people around to play Catan. But let me tell you, Oxford Gamerz Den is probably the place for you. It's because they offer daily events ranging from Magic, Dungeons & Dragons, Warhammer, and Malafox. They also give discounts to participating customers of any related event. They also do tons of card sales as well as booster packs for Magic and other TCGS. They also offer a variety of games for their customers to get a hold of. Board games galore, and ever-expanding RPG selections such as D&D, Pathfinder, Vampire the Masquerade, and Star Wars. They also offer a ton of war games such as Flames of War, 40K, and Malafox. They also have an abundance of accessories for all the customers. Paints for modeling, card sleeves, boxes, and binders, as well as playmates and custom artwork. Can you believe it, Tyler? You get everything you ever want. So come on down, join the den.
I really can't believe it. You guys need to come on down and join the den.
Join the den, right?
Join the den.
Join the den. Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoyed that word from our sponsor.
And welcome back.
Yes, we had a nice break. I did want to add in, if you guys do want to follow our sponsor, they are on Facebook and Instagram. So be happy, okay? They're trying to please you. And their Instagram handle is at Oxford Gamerz Den. That is Gamerz with a Z. So we're going to squeeze one more topic in. And that last topic will be, do you feel Amazon's going to become a store superpower?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? And, like, how so? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Amazon's current focus is owning the market share by having the lowest prices. Having the lowest prices, if they wanted to be, let's say, a monopoly and overcome everyone, they're going to get rid of their own competition. And then competition is the reason Amazon is in the place that it's in.
Well, I don't feel like they're getting enough competition nowadays. I mean, especially if they start, like, for instance, it's I compared it once before, but I feel like it's almost like a NIPSCO, which is the electric company out here, that is. And they own all the energy, and they're the ones who dictate prices, and you have no one to compete with them, so there's no one going to drop down prices. I don't know, like, that's what I feel like. Yeah, there's eBay, right? But I honestly trust eBay to an extent. Not everyone on there is selling to my, I guess, bouginess, or just at least top-notch quality. I just don't feel like Amazon has that competitor that's gonna keep driving prices down. I feel like they're gonna get big enough to the point where they don't want to, like, you know, they're not going to let up on prices. They're going to get such big-headed, like all these other bigger companies, like a Disney, for an example, and they're just not going to want to budge.
Websites like eBay, I wouldn't say are competing very much with Amazon. If you're looking at Mercari or Letgo or anything like that, you're looking for people that are selling used goods, or maybe not used goods, but a market that's more driven by the sellers. Amazon isn't really driven by the sellers. A lot of what's on Amazon can be third-party sales, things that people send to Amazon and Amazon stores them and takes care of selling it for them. But most of Amazon's sales are based on retailers, and retailers could be Walmart, Best Buy, anyone like that. Their goal is to make the shopping experience just as good online than it is where you would be able to go to a store. So they're trying to take over those kind of people. Otherwise, that's basically what happened with Toys R Us. Everyone says Amazon is what ruined Toys R Us. And in some cases it can be true, but the hardest part to overcome for Amazon is when you wanted to go buy a toy for your kid, you went to Toys R Us so you could see your kid's reaction. You could have them pick out the toy. And then it wouldn't be the same experience going on Amazon and having your kid try to find a toy. So they need to overcome a personal, in-person relationship, I should say, rather than an online relationship, which is why I say their more competition, or their higher competition, is with retailers that are online.
If we went back to kind of like that subject, I feel that Toys R Us went down. I don't think it was Amazon as well. I just feel like no one's going to go to one. Who wants to go to Target and then see all these toys where it's conveniently placed? Or I'm going to drive down all the way to Toys R Us, grab an action figure, maybe even if you're a collector, and get the action figure charged. Like, it was a ridiculous price, I remember Toys R Us being. So I could understand why, like, they fell apart. it scares me with Amazon a bit, because I just want that competitive price matching. Do I love them? Oh yeah. I mean, I use them all the time. Are they very convenient and make my life a little bit simpler and where I can be a bit more lazy? Sure. But I wouldn't want them to own so much where they feel like they can charge me whatever they want to charge me and I can't say anything about it.
Maybe in the future, I mean, we're talking a long time in the future, I can see this happening where Amazon will start getting super greedy. Right now, they have Amazon Basics and they have a couple of other premium products like their speaker and stuff that they sell at a premium price. Like Apple's got their, the Siri speaker. I don't
Yeah.
know what it actually is called,
Or like the Google,
but
kind of Google Home.
they charge ridiculous prices for that because it's a premium product.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing Amazon is moving towards, and that does lead me to think that Amazon might be leaning towards other products like their Amazon Basics. I've seen a lot of those prices slowly start to climb, and if you've ever looked at an Amazon Basics product, it is exactly what the title says. It is basic and cheap.
Yeah.
But as far as the third party selling or the general market, like let's say you're looking at a computer part or you're looking at some sort of toy. As of now, Amazon usually has the most competitive price for retail. Now, if you're looking at a used item or if you're looking at a pre owned item or something like that, or some kind of subscription, you're probably going to find a better deal on another website. But I feel like that's because it's not their focus.
Yeah.
As for what they're focusing on, I would say Amazon is, for now, moving in a positive direction. But in the future, just by what they've done in the past, I can see them getting a little bit greedy, and that could ruin some of that experience for the buyers.
Yeah, that's what's scary. I do enjoy though their idea for like having that, for instance, that store where you can pick up an item and it charges you, I believe, for
Right.
that.
So they have Amazon Go stores.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of them out right now, but there is a few. And from what I saw, there was a grocery store type that you can go to, and basically it loads everything onto your account
Yeah.
and it knows who you are walking through the store based on the information on your phone that's on the app, and it also has your identity, and there's a whole bunch of like sensors and barcode readers. It's all pretty much in the ceiling of the store. So when you take something off the shelf, it recognizes that it's in your hand, and it attaches it to your account, and then it knows that you bought it. And instead of you having to wait in line to purchase that item,
Yeah.
it just, all the sensors and all the technology in there know that you put it in your bag and you have it in your possession. So all you have to do is walk out the store and it either charges your debit card or your bank account, however you have it hooked up to Amazon. That, I do like the idea. The only negative that can come along with that is they don't have employees, so they are saving a lot of money, but there is a really big convenience that comes along with that, not waiting in lines, just walking into a store, grabbing something, not talking to anyone, and then just walking out. I can see, and I'm sure there already is, price premiums that are added on to a service that would be anything like that. So let's say, for simple numbers, a bottle of water is $1. If you were to go to an Amazon store, I wouldn't be surprised if that bottle was $2.
Oh, jeez.
Because you wouldn't have to talk to someone. You wouldn't have to wait in the line. You go in, grab your bottle of water. You can pop the cap right there, start drinking it, and walk out.
Oh, wow.
Super convenient.
Convenient,
they're
you're paying for that now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they would start charging you more for that. In the beginning, their plan was to have the cheapest prices, and their reasoning for having the cheapest prices is because all they're paying is an electric bill.
Yeah.
No employees. They have stockers, obviously, but no one has to be there doing any kind of customer service. And stockers are very cheap to pay. I can see the prices staying low for a while, but if that picks up at all, they might start charging for that premium. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I don't know. I think that's cool. I really admire Amazon's technology. Like I said, their ingenuity it's impeccable. It's awesome. It's great. I think that would be really cool. I wish Walmart would invest in something like that or any other store. How that combats theft, I don't know.
Well,
These
everything you're
stores,
doing is on camera. I
yeah,
mean, like any piece of technology, I'm sure there's a way around something there,
yeah,
but everything from what I've researched and from what I know about it, there's sensors in the shelves that know how much of a certain product is on the shelf. There's sensors in the ceilings that are looking down at the customers in the store. It has all your information on your account. So when you walk in there with your phone, or if it has your identity attached to the account,
yeah,
the system's going to do like facial recognition, or they scan your phone. I don't know how they do it, but somehow they figure out that it's you. And then all they really have to do is know that you're standing here in the store. And now that shelf is missing one water bottle. It must have gone in your bag.
yeah,
So then the account charges it. I do know that they have had mischarges,
yeah. Like I was
and
thinking about that in my head. I was like,
they have had that.
they drop a bread and they get charged for it. Is that
Right. And what I've seen is you can either call Amazon up and say, I was charged for this at your store, but I didn't have it in the bag. And a lot of times they say, okay, well, we'll look into it. And if a real person's looking at the camera work and they find you and they find the items, and they'll be like, oh, so they didn't grab that. Okay, we'll refund them the money. I don't know how long that process takes. Or there's also something in the app that I was told about where you can submit the items that you have, and if you took the wrong item, you can say, oh, no, I didn't take that in the app. And then I would assume it'd go through kind of the same process where someone would physically have
like
to go
manually
and
review
look.
it? Okay.
So they had that figured out. How reliable it is and how truthful Amazon is about it,
Yeah.
I guess would depend on the person doing it.
Yeah, and talking about truth, do you feel like a part of me, another, I think, I guess, semi fear, it's not a big fear of mine, right? But stepping into our privacy as individuals and Amazon, like, let's say they're getting into all this tech, like the Amazon Echo, or, I mean, now they're going to be watching you at their supermarkets if they're there. How do you, I don't know, how do you feel about that? Is that like going to be an issue, do you think? Or like a big topic for us?
For me personally, I have nothing to hide. I don't care what they know about me.
Yeah.
The only thing that I do find annoying is the ads.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
mean, Google does this too. Everyone mostly does it.
Well, yeah, we're kind
When
of.
you're on Amazon and all of a sudden you find ads on the side of your page for stuff that you were talking about your mom, whether it's some kind of dog toy or some kind of other product, and you open up your Amazon app or something and it's just kind of there, like you never searched for it, but you talked about it and you were like, oh, I have an Amazon Alexa, it must have heard me.
That's creepy as hell.
I mean, it's in some cases, like let's say you were having a conversation like, oh, I can't find this product. And then they, like, oh, keywords found out about you were looking for some piece of jewelry or a certain dog toy, and then it conveniently pops up on your Amazon page. I can see that being helpful, but how much of the conversation
Are
was
they?
used?
Yeah.
I don't like that part, but honestly, if you're having a sensitive conversation and you're near an Echo Dot or an Amazon Alexa thing or a Google whatever, you should be being mindful of that yourself, because if you read everything that you're going through when you agree to terms and services, it tells you exactly what's going on. So you can't say, oh, they recorded me without my permission, because you checked the box. So if you bought the Dot, they have everything there. It's not Amazon's fault that you didn't read it and check the Dot and gave them permission. Is some of it possibly misused? Maybe. I don't know anything about it. But for me personally, and someone else might feel differently, I just really don't care. Yeah. If you want to record what I'm saying, I mean, I didn't murder someone last night, and then they're gonna like get the evidence.
Are you sure? This is the video games, right?
Right. You know, or it's not like I have a secret location that I'm hiding some top secret tech or something, and I don't want people to find out. Like, I don't have any of that kind of thing to hide. So
it's just insane, you know, like the line of privacy for some, because some people, like, I guess, you know, if they're talking about cats and dogs, like, they just want to keep it in, you know, between themselves.
I will say, if I am having a certain conversation, like, let's say there's some family problems.
Yeah.
Depression issues, or, I don't know, maybe private talking between you and your girlfriend, you and your wife, or whatever.
Yeah.
If I seen some kind of product, like antidepressant pills or weird sex toy or something that popped up on my Amazon page, that's going to irritate me.
Yeah, it's going to be strange.
You know, what if my brother or someone came over, or one of my other friends came over, and they're like, oh, dude, I found this awesome product, let me show you, and they pull up Amazon, or they pull up Google, and all of a sudden that pops up in their face. And then I'm going to get questioned or something like that.
Yeah, then you kind of come off as the weirdo of the story.
That's what I don't like. So, not that that's hiding anything, not that Amazon or Google did anything wrong by like, oh, here's this product that might actually help. Like, okay, it might have, but you can't control when it is and when it's not going to pop up, and you can't control what they hear and what they can't.
And another, you know, like, and who's listening to this? Like, that's my question. Is it some creep? Is it an AI listening to this? Is it like some dude sitting there like, oh, yeah, he's talking about feet?
From my knowledge, it's an AI.
AI?
It's a computer listening for keywords.
That's strange.
So, let's say a new movie came out, or a new video game is being released, or a new product's being added onto Amazon. Their AI might be listening for the title of that product, the name of the movie. It might be listening for those keywords. So it kind of keeps an eye out. Now, I do know there is development going on where people are actually taking some of these clips, and they are listening.
Manually reviewing it?
Well, they're manually reviewing it, and they say it's to improve their AI. So let's say we were talking about dog toys.
Yeah.
And my Amazon page brought up a whole bunch of cat toys, and I might be a person that hates cats. Okay, so Amazon would be like, well, shoot, they were talking about dog toys. Why would our AI show them cat toys? So they're going to want to try to fix that, try to make that better for the customer.
Yes.
So they would listen to those audio clips. But if that was a private audio clip, something that you might not have wanted someone else to hear, but you forgot that it was on your Amazon Dot, then maybe you never found out that somebody heard about that. Maybe you never even knew. But fact in the back of your mind that you know that someone was hearing maybe hearing that, or it could be embarrassment, it could be kind of harmful to your, you know, how you deal with things on your own.
Yeah.
But it depends on the person, it depends on the subject, and how sensitive you are to it.
I agree, you know. We're at strange times. But with that, we are out of time. It's time for us to head out. Thank you guys for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this podcast today. Again, we are brought to you by Oxford Gamerz Den.
Join the den.
Join the den. Give them a shout out. Give them a look. Tell them that we sent you. Please comment and like our Instagram. That's at @theamateurhour_. Let us know what you thought about the podcast. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And that would be all from us. Thank you and good night.
Again, guys, anything goes. Put it in the comments. Let us know. Give us feedback. We want to hear it.
Anything and everything.